Hello everyone, Nicoraptor here, and today we're going to continue the Smaugust drawing challenge. We are now at the third week, and if you haven't seen the first 2 weeks of Smaugust, be sure to watch those before watching this one. And as usual, I'll be showing all the speed painting process of each of the 7 dragons, as well as some commentary. And we are following the same list by Mahis Maria on Instagram, and today we got some interesting new dragons today, so let's get into the drawing. Enjoy the video. The first dragon for the third week of Smaugust is the Fragrant Dragon. Now for this one, I wasn't quite sure what to draw design-wise when it comes to a dragon whose only adjective is fragrant. I first thought about making a dragon that can breathe out a noxious gas, but then I realized fragrant is a pleasant and sweet smell, not a bad one. And so I decided to make a dragon that can let out a pleasant smell. And the first thing that came to my mind about a pleasant smell is flowers. And so I came up with this design, a small lizard-like dragon that can give out a pleasant smell of roses. I made a small cute-looking dragon with frills on the side of his head that resembles flower petals and has a small blooming flower on top of his head and at the end of his tail as well, where it can let out a fragrant smell. I also made the dragon's wings into leaves to help the dragon camouflage and to help give it a more natural look, and it really looks nice. I also made the dragon sit on top of a pink rose to match his colors, and I made the background a bit blurry as a way to make the audience focus more on the dragon and the flower, and I really like the result that it gives out. And that way I don't have to spend too much time on backgrounds as it can be quite tedious. But overall, here is our Fragrant Dragon. The next dragon on our list is the Puffing Dragon. And now for this one here, I had a pretty good idea of what to do for this dragon. Since the word is puffing, what's the first thing that came to my mind? A pufferfish. Now, I didn't want to just make a giant round dragon as if it is a giant beach ball, but then something came to my mind of what would be a good inspiration for the design of the Puffing Dragon, and that is the Nandu. Is that how you say it? Nandu? Yeah, the Nandu that appeared in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It has the appearance of a giant leopard, and in its scene, it puffs out its neck similar to a pufferfish. So I wanted to use that idea for my dragon. I drew out the form of my dragon and the pose, and I made it flying out of the sea and roaring with its neck puffed out and has spikes protruding out of its puffing neck. And to give the dragon a more aquatic look, I added gills and frills on the side of its head, and I also added a sail on its back as well as fins at the end of its tail. I then gave a dragon a brownish gold color with a bright underbelly similar to the colors of a pufferfish. And this came out very nicely, and I always like doing dragons where I get to mix it with real life animals as it brings out so much creativity and ideas. And so, here is our Puffing Dragon. The third dragon on our list is the Tidal Dragon. And for this one here, I had a lot of ideas of what kind of dragon I could make. My first idea was to make a dragon based on my original dragon called the Reef Glider from my own book of dragons. Which, by the way, if you want to see me make a video on that book, let me know. The first idea was to make the Reef Glider dragon riding the waves. And the other idea was to make a giant sea serpent dragon that could control the waves. But I wasn't quite satisfied with those two ideas. But then I thought, why not make a dragon made out of water that can control the waves, which I thought will be a great idea. And so I made a giant wave or a tsunami wave with a water dragon head sticking out of it that is about to destroy a pirate ship down below. This artwork here, I used many different brushes to make the texture and coloring of the waves. And to give this piece a more natural disaster look, I added in a thunderstorm with lightning in the background, as well as rain. and it really makes this piece stand out a lot, and I'm really happy with this. And this may be my favorite dragon drawing of the week. And so, here is our Tidal Wave Dragon. The fourth dragon on our list is the Serene Dragon. Now for this one, I knew this was going to be an art piece where I have to focus more on the background instead of the dragon. I first decided on what kind of background and scenery I should draw. I had two ideas of what kind of background to draw based on my favorite sceneries in real life, the alpine forest with mountains, or a snowy forest with the northern lights above. And after a few minutes of decision making, I chose the alpine forest with the mountains as the scenery for our dragon. And as for the dragon design, I based it on one of my concept arts for the plant class dragon, which will be in my dragon book. This one here is called the Emerald Sporewing, and it is a plant class dragon that has large antlers with a leafy fur covering their backs. And so I went with this design. And after drawing the basic shape and form of the dragon, as well as the position of it resting on top of the cliff looking up to the sky, I then did the colorings and the shadings and lightings as per usual. And this one, I focused a lot more on the nature environments, like such as the alpine trees, the mountains, and the sky. And overall, the result looks great, and I often like to do these kind of scenery arts where I based it off on nature, as nature is very beautiful. But other than that, here is our Serene Dragon. The fifth dragon on our list is the Sniper Dragon. Now this one here, I was racking my brain a lot on what is the best way to draw a sniper dragon. Do I make it a dragon that can shoot a precise fire shot from its mouth? Or do I make a humanoid dragon holding a sniper rifle? And I didn't want to do any of these ideas, as one is too boring and then the other one is too ridiculous, as I didn't want to draw like a fantasy humanoid dragon holding a modern day weapon. But then I just realized, a sniper doesn't mean they need to have a sniper rifle, they just need to shoot long, precise shots. And what shoots long, precise shots in a fantasy medieval setting? Archers. Archers are the snipers before sniper rifles. And so I made a humanoid dragon with a bow and arrow, and here is the design I came up with. I made him green to help camouflage in the trees, and I gave him an agile, muscular build. Pose-wise, I made him stand up top of a tree branch and getting ready to fire his arrow, which I decided to make the arrow tip a glowing crystal just to add more flair to the piece. And at the end, it looks great, and kinda makes me want to design more humanoid dragons with different weapons and armors, but maybe another time. Other than that, here is our Sniper Dragon. The next dragon on our list is the Devious Dragon. And for this one here, it'll be very similar to what I did with my Vigilant and Defiant Dragon, where I didn't do much on the design of the dragon, but rather more on the background and the story to let us know that this dragon is devious. And so I decided to make a story where a dragon is manipulating this woman to trick her into taking the red ruby, as it will give her power and wealth that she needs to save her people, but instead it was a ruby that kept the dragon in a prison and can't escape due to it. And he cannot touch the ruby, but only a human can. So by tricking her into taking the ruby away, the evil dragon will be free to continue its destruction. And that is the story I made for this art piece. I didn't do much on the design of the dragon. I made him hide in the shadows so that way we can only see his head and his claws, having a devious smile as if like he's controlling this woman to set him free. But overall, this came out very well, and so here is our Devious Dragon. And here is our final dragon for the third week of Smaugust, the Sparking Dragon. For this one here, the first thing that came to my mind when I think of the word sparking is lightning.
The god of thunder!
Wow, I didn't hear any thunder, but out of your fingers, was that like sparkles?
And so I decided to make a lightning dragon with sparks of lightning coming out of its mouth and body. I made the dragon's body based on Eastern dragons because I thought it would be cool to have a serpentine dragon that can fly by using its electric powers and not have wings. I also gave it spikes on its chin and head to give it a shocking appearance. I then gave the dragon a dark navy color with a cyan underbelly. Usually when people design lightning dragons, they will go for yellow, as yellow is the usual color for lightning. But we have seen that lightning can be in different colors like blue, purple, or even red. And so I went with blue because I thought it would look nice, and it did after the shading and lighting. I then used a glow-in-the-dark brush with a light blue color and drew sparks of lightning glowing out of the dragon's mouth, eyes, neck, and spikes, as well as his hands, and this looks really cool. I could have added more lightning in the background, but I'm still happy with this piece, and so here is our last dragon, the Sparking Dragon. And that is all the dragons for the third week of Smaugust. I hope you all enjoyed the 7 dragons we have for today. And if you haven't seen the previous 2 Smaugust episodes, you can go ahead and watch those. Or if you want to see last year's drawing of Smaugust, you can click on my Instagram to see those. Or if you want to see more of my animations, you can watch those here on my YouTube, as well as some other speed drawing videos I've done. But besides that, thank you all so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. My name is Nick Raptor, and have a Jurassic day. Bye.